You have a brand of love they call tough love. Yes, tough love. And I spent most of the day today on social media listening and watching the grouses of the people and the love and the hate that they are sharing for our leaders. It is the first in my life, 65 years, I've ever heard such distasteful things being said about any of our leader. But I can imagine that they must have been said before, but because of now the popularity of social media, people had a chance now to speak from their heart, how they feel. Yes, henceforth, it raises a few questions and leave some huge concerns as we look forward to step into another election in a couple, in a little over a year or so, if it's going to call at the due time or if it's going to be forcibly called before. We don't know. But whenever, right? I also come across a video where the Prime Minister mentioned TikTok videos, and I can see that they are touching, and he is warning about the authenticity of the things that people said. Well, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm going to speak to you, and I'm going to speak to you through the book that you treasured. And I said, the book that you treasured. I've heard you quote a lot of scripture from time to time. So I'm going to stick with your model, with your module. Not going to go into the violation part, but sticking to your model of discipline. Because you know we know it, because we born from in the 50s. All right? So I want you to listen to me carefully. And the reason why I am doing this, it is that the reason why I'm reading Ezekiel 33, because it's my job. Then I will go over to Wisdom 6, which is your personal words I'll be giving you over there. So let me tell you my part first. Now, it said, Ezekiel 33, verse 7. I started from verse 7. And let's start from the top. The Lord spoke to me, this is verse 1. Mortal man, he said, tell your people what happens when I bring war to a land. The people of that country chooses one of their number to be a lookout. When he sees the enemy approaching, he sounds the alarm to warn everyone. If someone hears it but pays no attention and the enemy comes and kills him, then he is to blame for his own death. His death is his own fault because he paid no attention to the warning. If he had paid attention, he could have escaped. If, however, the lookout sees the enemy coming and does not sound the alarm, the enemy will come and kill those sinners. But I will hold the lookout responsible for their death. Now, mortal man, I am making you a lookout for the nation of Israel. You must pass on to them the warnings I give you. If I announce that an evil person is going to die, but you do not warn him to change his ways so that he can save his life, then he will die, still a sinner, and I will hold you responsible for his death. And if you do warn an evil person and he does not stop sinning, he will die still a sinner, but your life will be spared. That's the reason why I'm telling you this afternoon. Because I examine my part, verse 9, right? Or verse 8. If I announce that an evil person is going to die, but you do not warn him or her to change him or her ways so that he can save his life, then he will die still a sinner, and I will hold you responsible for his death. Now, I don't want to be held responsible for whatever gonna transpire in the near future, right? So I was given a message to pass on to you, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna pass this message on to you in this video. And Mr. Prime Minister, you must either take it or you don't take it. But one thing, Reginald Samuel Martin, aka Tychicus, is passing on this message until you and all, listen me carefully, rulers, all governance kings, the message is for you all. This is taken from the book of Wisdom. So then, you kings, you rulers the world over, listen to what I say and learn from it. You govern many lands and are proud that so many people are under your rule. But this authority has been given to you by the Lord Most High. He will examine what you have done and what you plan to do. You rule on the behalf of God and his kingdom. And if you do not govern justly, if you do not uphold the law, if you do not live according to God's will, you will suffer sudden and terrible punishment. And me says so. Judgment is especially severe on those in power. Common people may be merciful, forgiving for their wrongs, but those in power will face severe judgment. The Lord of all is not afraid of anyone, no matter how great they are. He himself made everyone great and common alike, and he provides for all equally. But he will judge the conduct of rulers more strictly. It is for you, mighty kings, that I write these words, so that you may know how to act wisely and avoid mistakes. These are holy matters, and if you treated them in a holy manner, you yourself will be considered holy. If you have learned this lesson, you will be able to defend yourself at the judgment. So then, make my teaching your treasure and joy, and you will be instructed. I won't say no more. Argument done.